How are you guys doing? You having a good time? Good. So let's keep it moving. Our next comedian is Nicole. When Tony and I first planning to build Shameless Society, she was our #1 draft pick. From day one, you just know that she has it. She has all the. Tim, I'm sorry, you barely made it.
I'm already next to fight. Why don't we just jump in?
She has all the impressions, from Jennifer Coolidge to Creed, the popular rock band from the early 2000s. It's my personal favorite. I hope one day she will sing her entire set as Creed. So please help me welcome Nicole.
Hear that, Tim? I'm #1. I'm just kidding. Hey, look, don't be mad at me. Okay. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I have a confession I need to make. This is very likely going to kill my stand-up comedy career. Okay? You're all going to witness it live. Okay?
Yes.
I'm nervous. I don't even know how to say it. All right, so family, right? My family is pretty fucking cool. I really like them. They're actually not the worst. They're pretty supportive. They call me on my birthday and shit. It's great. They hug me. They say they're proud of me and they mean it. It's cool. That's why I feel like I've ruined stand-up for myself a little bit. Don't have a lot of stories where they weren't around. They were always around, My family's not really fucked up. They're just complicated. So let me lay it out a little bit. Okay, so my mom is from the Philippines, so she looks like this. And my dad is a white guy from Long Island, so he looks like this, but he talks like this. Okay, that's my cultural makeup. In their 20s, they married other people and had a kid, and then they were never mind. And then they got married to each other in their 30s and had me when they had their shit together. So I share a dad with a white redheaded sister, and then I share a mom with another Filipino, same brown mom, different white dad, okay? And it's not really it's interesting because interracial families can be complicated sometimes. Sometimes people make it weird, but my family didn't make it weird. It was pretty cool. My white cousins would come over and we'd all roll egg rolls with my mom. And then I'd go over to my white family's house and they'd teach me how to make Kraft mac and cheese. So it's balance. It's just cultural balance, But maybe they had a little racism. I don't know. Maybe they worked that shit out while I was learning how to walk. So, but otherwise, by the time I grew a brain and stuff, I was fine. I was never referred to as the brown cousin, Mainly because I didn't have to, because we all have eyes, okay? Really waste of time, But what's interesting too is all of my cousins on my mom's side are also all Filipino. My mom's siblings all married white people, so we're all collectively somebody's brown cousin. It's fine, But I grew up in Las Vegas, and I gotta say, that's a weird place to be a baby. People don't think about that, but people have babies there and taking the daycare and shit. It's weird. I know. And people are what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Sometimes it does, and it learns to drive there and shit. It's weird, right? Anyway, yeah, you're driving to daycare, but you're seeing billboards for prime rib buffets. It's weird. But otherwise it's a collectively normal experience. Some kids might have been traumatized by clowns at somebody's birthday party in a backyard. I was traumatized by the cast of the Lion King musical. Some people got to go to the circus when it was in town. I went to Cirque du Soleil because it was always in town. Some people got to see a magic show at the library. I, got mind freaked by Chris Angel many a time. Because what else were you gonna do? It's weird. But also, aside from it being just a weird place to grow up, it's a really cool place to people watch, and that's where I kind of started to develop my obsession with accents. Because so many international people just come in and out of there all the time. So when I'm watching my parents gamble from afar, I'm also just listening to tourists from Minnesota. I'm that's a weird accent. All right. Actually, I think my accent obsession started with my dad because he sounds like an extra in Goodfellas. I think one of my first sentences might have been, "Get the dog Monty some more water." it's still that's my anchor phrase to this day. When people are like, do a New York accent, I'm like, Dad, what would you say? That's what you would say. But it's interesting because like he has this like really intense way about him, and like he talks so like loud and like angry all the time, except when he's talking to babies or like animals. So like you might hear him just be like, throw the fucking ball, you idiot! Do something even if it's wrong! And then like a cat appears and he's like, well hello Gracie, look at you! Look at you with your little cat ears, just thinking about things and your feelings, the things you think about! And he like makes eye contact with me and he's like, see, she loves me. I used to like have a really hard time getting the Filipino accent down though, because my mom doesn't have it, which is annoying. She's really mysterious and she kind of creeps me out, if I'm being honest. I have a working theory she's a spy, okay? Like, she's really ethnically ambiguous. A lot of people don't know, like, where she comes from or how old she is. Like, I know we're Filipino because she points at shit with her eyebrows. Like, that's how I know. But yeah, like, she's weird. She knows too many languages. Like, she doesn't make sound when she walks. She just, like, shows up places and then, like, disappears into the woodwork. It's weird. She, like, has 2 fridges, which is a Filipino thing, apparently. She's also got a deep freeze that can for sure fit a few bodies, apparently a serial killer thing, all right? It's all full of like Ziploc bags and like weird grocery bags that are wrapped up real tight, labeled fucking leftovers. Of what? I don't know. Like the bottom of the freezer's littered with like the names of people that have wronged her. Terrifying. Sometimes she just sits outside in the dark smoking a cigarette by herself after her latest kill, no doubt. The only other person that was like more terrifying than my mother was my Lola, which is my grandmother, my mom's mom. I actually did not attempt a Filipino accent until 15 years after she died, because I was convinced she would just rise out of the grave and beat the shit out of me. She was terrifying. She would do this really cute thing though sometimes, where she'd just come up to me and be like, oh my god, Goli, you're getting so fat. Do you want to eat some fried rice? You're so fat. Keep eating. And I'd be like, thank you, crying into my fucking food. So fun! Okay, I guess there is some trauma there. My bad. But here's the thing. It's not really like she was trying to be mean. It's a cultural thing. So in the Philippines, like, it's a good thing to be fat. It means like, you know, you have time to eat, you have time to save, you're not struggling, you're not doing like 1,000 jobs. You know, my tum-tum is a status symbol, okay? That's what I tell myself when I'm stuffing my fupa into my jeans. I gotta tell you, I haven't seen my front bump since 2016, and I gotta tell you, that's how I know I made it. You know what I mean? I know you're not right. Sometimes I think about like the way that she would be if she saw like girls that are doing that fucking face fat removal surgery trend that's happening. I feel like she'd just be like, see that girl over there? She's dying. She's got the parasite. We saw it on the news with Anderson Cooper. Want to look like that? You've got to keep eating. Other people will think we don't feed you. It used to really like send my redheaded sister into a fucking spiral. Because she would also do this fun thing where she'd like talk shit in Tagalog, but there's a lot of words that like are a thing in English but are not a thing in Tagalog. So it was always like a fun game of like Mad Lib. You know, she'd just be like, no, Rachel. And she'd just be like, she's talking about me. What is she saying? And she might just be like, skinny jeans. Diet Coke. And she'd be like, what the fuck is she saying? She also had, okay, so there's a phrase in Tagalog, the way they say it, oh my god, is they'll go like, ay nako, which, I think for the first 10 years of my life, I was convinced I was in trouble. Like, I heard it as, you fucked up, Curbs, go sleep in the driveway. That's it. This is it. And I like, stressed my sister out. She was like, do you remember when she would always yell at you, like you were always in trouble? And I was like, Rachel, like, that's a phrase. And she's like, when did you learn that? And I was like, I don't know, 10? And she's like, I'm 40. Why do I just now know that? And I was like, Google it. Idiot. But no, like, so, another thing I love about my Lola, she would talk mad shit to your face in Tagalog. So, like, she would talk to my dad and call him this lovely nickname, which is Dabachoy, which I believe means fat ass, right? So she'd stack a huge plate in front of him, and she'd say, Dabachoy, and he'd be like, yeah, she likes me, and she got a pet name for me. Yeah. And I'd be like, yeah, Dad, that's a cute pet name. I didn't want to tell him. You want to know why? Because I love my family. That's why. That's my time. Y'all been great.
Give it up for with Nicole. One more time. Yeah.